sessions. I appreciate all the effort on day one, and of course, you'll be able to continue those conversations tomorrow. And I hope you'll enjoy them just as much then as you did today. Just to really close out today, day one, I'm going to ask Deborah, the CEO, President of the U.S. Council on Competitiveness, to share some reflections, some thoughts about the day. And then I'll come up at the end with a few logistical notes. We're not done yet, but we have a wonderful evening plan, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But Deborah, please.
Well, first, I think we need to thank you, Chad, for being a fabulous MC, as well as a great moderator for wonderful discussions. Well, let me just thank everybody for being with us today, and really, everybody in this room has made so many contributions. I haven't yet had a chance to meet every single person in the room, but almost all of you. So thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. I know tomorrow we've got another full, great day of discussions and a breakout session. I thought I'd just mention kind of a summary of a few key themes and ideas. I won't capture anything, but just to refresh our thoughts about some of the important seminal ideas that were shared today, and maybe just start in the beginning with the discussion we had with our two chancellors, Chancellor May and Chancellor Wilcox. I mean, they really outlined, as we all know, that universities are fundamental institutions in regions. We heard how Davis and Riverside are integrated into their communities as civic leaders, incubators of new ideas, talent generators, and also the next generation of scalable partnerships with industry. On our 10X Innovation panel, I love the fact that we all agreed on that panel. We need to not just think bigger or ask what's next, but we need to think about whole new ways of doing things: education, commercialization, collaborating, and how we utilize, quite frankly, this massive amount of investment that's coming from the U.S. government in the recent legislation. You know, just getting more money and doing things the same way is not the answer when we know we have challenges that require us to do things very, very differently and in new creative ways. Paul Monks, I know you gave a fantastic talk. Everybody wants your view graphs if you're willing to share them. I had to sneak out soon after the beginning because I did an interview. Jed and I, we did an interview with the chancellor, so we had to leave a little bit. But thank you. And everybody's quoting, systems is everything. So we'll remember you for that, among many other things. Future of sustainability, we're moving in the right direction, but we're not moving fast enough. We need to acknowledge that climate and the climate issues cut across all sectors of the economy and life, actually, and how we are going to use our resources, dematerialize, etc. And I know, Paul, you gave a very important overview of what's going on in the UK and the net zero strategy there. Future of innovation, the scaling issue. Partnerships, of course, was a concept that went through all of our discussions today. But again, institutions need to move faster, or some of this critical innovation is going to happen elsewhere. But also, again, they need to refine the processes to get rid of the red tape, the bureaucracy. And also, when we address this in the first phase of this work, we'll continue that our current financing models and processes are really not adequate for the scale and the challenge. We're not going to build the future economy on venture capital alone. We have to think of other financing mechanisms at scale. Future of innovation on the cutting edge. Really, yes, the National Innovation Ignition, the NIF Ignition Facility at Livermore, and its tremendous discovery process, its accomplishments, really is a symbol of the long-term commitments we have to make as a nation for transformative innovation. I can tell you, I think I mentioned this, I was there for one of the groundbreakings of NIF many, many years ago, mid-90s, and after that, there was so much opposition against that continued investment. And thank God as a nation, we had the fortitude to continue to do that. Jed Kolko, thank you for your great, great keynote. We had a nice time in our discussion together with the Chancellor, and you're really in a tremendous important position in our government as Undersecretary of Commerce, and the importance of data and statistics, and really both understanding the culture and understanding what we need to invest in is really, I think, a key theme that you left as well, including looking at capacity for growth. Does that matter, or is it investment in distressed areas? I think we all believe it's probably both. On place-based innovation and the missing millions, and we had two great panel leaders on that. Thank you both. A number of issues that really came out very strongly is, again, the importance of understanding the culture and communities and the commitment of communities and community leaders to addressing the need to reinvent and recreate their own futures, not just relying on government grants or government investment, but to really pull those regional, local leaders to take the action of really what needs to be done, and then leverage other resources. We all agreed that leaving places and people behind is really a recipe for a less competitive nation. Interesting discussions about intercountry migration and, of course, the reality of our demography. I think everybody was surprised to learn that we have a decrease in migration in our country and people moving about, which was very, very surprising, I think, at least to me. Tremendous talent and resources are sitting on the sidelines. You know, the Missing Million panel articulated that so beautifully. And we have to have new pathways for not just engagement, but unleashing these opportunities and the inclusion of everyone in our country for their own personal development as human beings, but also for what they will do for our country and our democracy. All through our discussions, we heard about risk tolerance, the balance between risk and reward. And also we heard about, some very important ethical issues, issues around hope and justice. And some of you know that the Gallup Corporation is very active in the Council on Competitiveness, and their recent global poll on thriving is a very sobering, you can get this on the web, very sobering document, because throughout the world, the numbers of people who are saying they are thriving and have hope is just plummeting. And those are very, very serious issues for creating our innovation future. So with that, let me say we look forward to a great day tomorrow. Chad, you're going to tell us about it, and we're going to have a wonderful dinner and a presentation as well here at UC Davis, and our tours tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Deborah. Wow, that's a great summary for the day. We need to make sure we capture your notes. Okay, evening program is beginning. In about 7 minutes, at 5:30, there will be shuttle buses available outside. The shuttles are going to take us to the Mondavi Center for the Performing Arts, where we will have a reception at 6 p.m. hosted by Chancellor May. At 6:30, Chancellor May will lead us in a fireside chat with an educator and entrepreneur from campus, Justin Siegel, and then we'll have dinner starting at 7. Dinner is seated. On the QR code on the back of your name tag, there should be if you go there now, there should be a link, Find Your Dinner Table. Click that. It'll give you, I think, a table number. So if you have any questions about that, you can ask our colleague Yasmin Hilpert, our Senior Policy Director. And Yasmin, thanks for all your help today and getting us to the summit, and appreciate all of your work. And then we'll have a great evening. At 8 o'clock, dinner will end. Shuttles will take you back to your hotels. The shuttle will also stop here in case you drove and you want to leave your car. The shuttle will come back here for a quick stop and then drop everyone off at their respective hotels. If for some reason you missed the shuttle at 8 p.m. tonight, there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's taxis, lots of ways to get back to where you're going. And then tomorrow, we have a slightly later start in the morning, I believe 9 or 9:15, but the event book has the correct schedule. The event book also has the shuttle schedule, so check that for tomorrow morning. The times are a little different than they were today, but there will be shuttles again dropping you off here at the Arc Center. We'll be here for one major plenary panel. We'll have a 2-hour breakout session just like we had today, and then we'll have a set of innovation tours. There'll be 2 tracks. We'll talk a little bit more about those tomorrow. You can read about them in the event book in advance, begin to think about where you might want to spend your afternoon. And then we'll end up wrapping here around 3 or 3:15, as I know many folks have flights out. If you need to bring your luggage here tomorrow, you can do so. Baggage can be stored securely if you need to do that. Otherwise, you can check out of your hotel in the morning and leave it there if you're planning on leaving. But some of you may be staying overnight for another day in Davis. Okay, I think that's it, Yasmin, right? I think we just need to head out to the shuttles just outside of the registration desk. The folks there will tell us where to go.